Now student, this is the another concept of the magnetism, that is the hysteresis loop, or you can say the magnetization curve. That what happens when a substance is magnetized and when it is completely demagnetized. Okay, so as indicated in this diagram, the intensity of magnetization, that is depend on the magnetizing force. Intensity of magnetization I, that increases with increase in the magnetizing force H, as indicated in the diagram. Okay, and initially it is following through the part OA. So when you are increasing the magnetizing force H on the magnetizing substrate during the magnetization, so as H increases, the intensity of magnetization also increases from O to A. So OA part represent the increase in the value of the intensity of magnetization with H, and reaches a saturation at A, means after magnetization up to a certain limit, that limit is A. Now when H is decreased, when you will start decreasing the value of the H, so when you will take the value of H from the right to left direction, so when H start decreasing from the point F, now you are observing that the intensity of magnetization also start decreasing from the point A. Okay, and when value of H becomes 0 at the point O after decreasing it, now when H becomes 0 at the point O, you will observe that the graph traces its path from A to B. From A to B, now you are observing that OB part represent the intensity of magnetization. It means when the magnetizing force becomes 0, then substance retain its magnetic property. Okay, the magnetic property of the substance does not disappear when H becomes 0. So the part OB of the material is known as the residual magnetism I set up in the material, and that is represented by the OB. And this part OB of the material when H is equal to 0 and I becomes finite is called the retentivity. So OB represent the retentivity, means how much the substance retain its magnetic properties when H become 0. So to bring, if we want to bring I, means intensity of magnetization of the substance becomes 0, that means substance should completely demagnetized. Then what we will do? We will start increasing the value of H from 0, means from the point O to the point C. You are start decreasing the value of H in the opposite direction. So when H start decreasing from O to C direction, so as it is increases from O to C direction, at a particular point C, when the value of H is finite, but intensity of magnetization at the point C becomes 0, means at the point C H will be finite but I becomes 0. Okay, so after reaching the saturation level D, when the magnetizing force is reversed, the curve closes to the point A, completing a cycle, magnetization and demagnetization and again magnetization. So to bring I to 0, to demagnetize completely, opposite magnetizing force you have applied, and this magnetizing force value H OC is called the coercivity of the substance. OB is related to I, finite value of I. OB represent retentivity, and the finite value of HOC for a substance is called the coercivity. And after point C, when you will increases the value of H in the opposite direction, the substance start increasing its magnetization in the opposite direction and becomes saturated at the point D. And after point D, when value of H again start increasing in the positive direction, the curve retraces its path up to the point A. Okay, so after reaching the saturation level D, when the magnetizing force is again reversed, the curve retraces or closes to the point A by completing a one cycle of magnetization and demagnetization. Now after that, there is must be a closed curve, that is A B C D E F A. So the closed loop A B C D E F A, that is called the hysteresis loop. What is the purpose of this hysteresis loop? The hysteresis loop that gives you the loss of energy due to the cycle of magnetization and demagnetization, and it dissipated in the form of heat, because when the substance magnetized and demagnetized at a particular instant, there must be some vibrations produced, and due to the vibrations produced during the magnetization and demagnetization, some energy is lost in the form of heat. So the area of loop will give you this loss of energy in the form of heat during the cycle of magnetization and demagnetization. And we have some material which give you the concept that for which type of material we can make temporary magnet, and for which kind of material according to their hysteresis loop we can make permanent magnet. Okay, so see here, this is a diagram for the soft iron and the steel. Here you are observing for the steel, the retentivity is finite and coercivity is high. So steel, according to the area, the substance that used for making permanent magnet must have the important characteristic. They must have high retentivity so that it produces a strong magnetic field. So in case of steel, there must be some that high retentivity, you can say, as compared to the soft iron, but the retentivity is high in this case because it is not very less. And you are observing the part OC is high in the case of the steel, means the value of H from O to C in the opposite direction. So the value of coercivity is also high in this case, so that magnetization is not destroyed by stray magnetic field, temperature variation or minor mechanical damage. And it must have, the steel has a high permeability also. So in spite of its higher slightly smaller retentivity and than soft iron, steel is favored for making permanent magnet because of its higher coercivity than soft iron. And other material for making the permanent magnet are alnico, these are alloys, cobalt steel, and these are the substances which are used for making the permanent magnet. So due to the high coercivity and high permeability and high retentivity, it is used as to make the permanent magnet. Now second type of magnet is what? Electromagnet. Okay, temporary magnet. The material used for making cores of the electromagnet must have following characteristic. That is, you are observing for the case of soft iron. For the soft iron, the intensity of magnetization means retentivity high from O to in the upward direction. So in the case of soft iron, retentivity is high and it has a low coercivity value. So it has a low coercivity, high retentivity and high permeability. High initial permeability, so that magnetization is large even for a small magnetizing field. Okay, so if permeability is high in the case of electromagnet for the soft iron, for a very small magnetizing field, if you are giving a very small magnetizing force or very small magnetizing force is applied on the soft iron, permeability is very high but coercivity is low. And in this case, what will happen? Now in this condition, you are observing that it has a high permeability and it has a low hysteresis loss, and it has a that is high value of the retentivity also, but the area is less as compared to soft iron. So when the temperature increases or magnetizing force decreases, it loses its magnetic property. So for the electromagnet, the material must have the high permeability, low coercivity and suitable retentivity to retain its magnetism property, but when you will remove the magnetizing field, it will loses its magnetism.